Now, Storm Watch 12 weather with meteorologist Oliver Smith.
We'll start off with a hazy look over in Medford. You can see the wind is blowing. The flags are flapping pretty good at this particular point, but it's 95 degrees, so plenty hot in the Rogue Valley. The winds right now gusting upwards of 18 miles an hour, but 17% humidity, very dry air in our region. We are going to get a little bit of relief from the heat. There is a very weak cold front offshore. This will push into the region late tonight and into tomorrow. That'll knock off some of the temperature readings for today, shaving off maybe about 5 degrees. So that's helpful, but less east of the Cascades, maybe a little bit more further off towards the west. But for tonight, we're going to be looking at low temperatures, upper 40s to low 50s, still hazy conditions east of the Cascades. Mid to upper 50s for both the west side valleys, and generally upper 50s with fog redeveloping possibly along the Oregon coast. For tomorrow, temperatures cooler, still plenty warm though, 88 in Medford, 84 over towards Grants Pass, very close to 70 degrees along the Oregon coast. Not much relief down to the Siskiyou Valley and Shasta Valley in terms of 94 in Wairika, 91 out in Mount Shasta City, but upper 80s, low 90s east of the Cascades. Now, our stormcast showing for the remainder part of the day today, not too bad, at least in terms of sunshine, but that weak system gets closer and closer, so we could see some patchy drizzle in the extreme northern part of Curry County, but a little bit more, obviously, farther up towards the north. Otherwise, it's going to be a pretty quiet night overall. Now, once we get closer towards morning, maybe a few of the clouds will still hang around along the Oregon coast. Inland's looking pretty clear, and it's going to stay clear for the remainder part of the day. We go through Monday morning, also the same kind of scenario, looking pretty nice. There is that possibility of some drizzle kind of showing up over here on Port Orford and maybe over towards Cape Blanco. But other than that, we're going to stay dry for the next 24 hours, unfortunately. Now for the smoke forecast, here is the smoke from the Applegate fire. You can see it's pushing down towards from the northwest towards the south and the east. So Siskiyou County will continue to see the brunt of the smoke from that particular fire. We'll also see more smoke as we go east of the Cascades later on this evening, but farther off to the north and west, looking like less smoke in the region. We get towards Sunday morning, the winds calm down, so the smoke has spread out quite a bit over towards east side and into Siskiyou County as well. Now we go through the day on Sunday, the wind picks up a little bit more once we get towards the afternoon, and we'll see that wind picking up, we'll see the smoke moving again from the northwest towards the south and the east, and the smoke filtering east of the Cascades. But on Monday, the smoke could start to shift directions once we go towards Monday afternoon. It could be moving from a little bit from the south towards the north, east of the Cascades. We'll keep an eye on that in the days to come. Grass pollen is going to stay pretty high for the next several days, but we're going to get some relief from the warm weather now, and that's going to push through for tomorrow. So the temperature is a little bit cooler, but still plenty warm. When we get towards early next week, we get into a little bit of a southwesterly flow, so the heat comes back, but overnight lows are still going to be okay, so we're not going to be looking at heat risk being very high. Still looking at overnight lows mostly into the 50s. We get towards Wednesday of next week, and then we're going to finally have a more significant system move through our region. That'll definitely cool us off quite a bit, but then that starts to shift off towards the east. We get a high pressure building in back again, but maybe that might not last all that long. So here's your forecast for the Oregon coast. We'll stay into the 60s for the next several days. Possible drizzle again for tomorrow morning, and then possibly again on Wednesday morning. For Northern California, it's going to stay pretty hot and hazy for the next couple of days, generally mid-90s, eventually cooling off once we get towards Wednesday and Thursday, and then temperatures rebounding yet again towards the latter part of the week. For Klamath Basin, upper 80s to low 90s today, or Sunday through Tuesday, cooling off a little bit more once we get towards Thursday and into Friday. And for the Cascades, we'll be looking at 70s through Wednesday, eventually cooling off into the 60s, maybe a slight chance of some morning showers in the Cascades. That's the only chance of rain that looks to be the case as of now. And for the Rogue Valley, again, still pretty warm for the next couple of days. We get back up to 95 on Tuesday, but closer to 80 by Thursday.